From the National Weather Service in Raleigh, it's Nick Petro with your routine Monday morning weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. And this briefing covers the period today through the 4th of July, through this Sunday. So we've got a holiday weekend in our briefing for today. All right, so let me first start off, as I like to do, with what is going on right now. And this is a visible satellite image. With on top of visible satellite image, we've got radar data. And you can see that little swirl there, that little spin there, is Tropical Depression number 4, which was just initiated as of 11 a.m. this morning. And let me see if I could put some Hurricane Center overlays on here. So yeah, so you can see there's the current position. There is where it's expected to be basically 9 hours from now, around 8 p.m. this evening. It's supposed to be inland already, just south of Charleston. And this little half circle there is sort of the extent of, where, there could be some, 35 knot winds extending out. So as you can see, it's a very, very compact little circulation, very compact storm. Not terribly impressive. I mean, there's not a whole lot of, as we call it, deep thunderstorm activity around the center. And that's why this location here, just west of inland, just west of Charleston, is a tropical storm strength. And currently right now, the only thing going on with it in terms of any kind of shower or thunderstorm activity, there's two places. There's a cluster of rain centered around Savannah, and then there's this band of showers that's sort of circulating around it, approaching actually having already gone past Myrtle Beach and moving through Wilmington right now. There's a little speck of a rain shower there by New Bern. But basically, look at over us, just some shallow, puffy, cumulus clouds, and very pretty nice, quite frankly. It's not unusual once you get away from sort of the high clouds of these storms to have sinking air. And that's what I think is going on over here, is some sinking air on the periphery of the system. So I think right now we're benefiting a little bit from being so displaced north of it. We're getting some of that sinking air, but it's possible that some of these real brief light passing showers could skirt southern portions of central North Carolina as they kind of circulate around and kind of, counterclockwise. It's possible areas south of the Triad, south of Raleigh, kind of south of this line here, could see a passing shower, maybe a thunderstorm, but really not expecting a whole lot with this system. Okay, so and by the way, I'll just throw on temperatures in case anybody's curious. We're well up into the 80s already. So and dew points are in the 70s, low 70s, so it's humid. So with 70 dew points, and look at that, 75 dew points. It's once you get east of I-95, it's really steamy and humid. So anyway, kind of a hot and humid day, just typical summer. All right, so back to our slides, and there's the tropics. First on the left, you have Tropical Depression 4 as of the 11 o'clock advisory. It's going to pass well to our south today, and other than a few brief passing rain showers south of the Triad, south of the Triangle, central North Carolina will have little, if any, impacts. And then the Hurricane Center is watching a tropical wave over the central tropical Atlantic. I think they only have that as they have a 40 to 60% chance of development. But what I saw in the models, which kind of, caught my eye, was its moisture, regardless of whether it forms or not. Its plume of tropical moisture may approach somewhere along the southeast coast. When I say southeast coast, we're talking, Carolinas down to Florida. So where that moisture will approach, it's too early to say. But it's possible, that some of that moisture could get drawn up toward, coastal Carolina sections maybe providing an opportunity for some rain early next week or perhaps over the weekend. We'll see. It's too early. Don't get terribly concerned about it at the moment. Just know that, we're keeping our eyes on things. All right. So even if that tropical wave wasn't out there, we have got a wet pattern, unfortunately, developing for late this week and this weekend. But I'll get to that in a minute. Tropical Depression 4 will pass by to our south today. And then we're going to see very low rain chances Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm not going to completely rule out the chance for some very isolated showers or thunderstorms Tuesday and Wednesday, but most places should stay dry. And then if you look down the lower left, you see a frontal system, and in the lower right panel, a frontal system approaching basically the East Coast from Friday into the weekend. And that will give us basically increasing rain chances later this week, and then a period of wet weather Friday through this weekend. Now, in case you're wondering, what about Independence Day, being on a Sunday, and, it's a perfect day to, it's always great when we have a holiday over a weekend, right? Unfortunately, this one, while not a complete washout, could be rainy at times as that front is held up or stalls over the mid-Atlantic and Carolinas. And unfortunately, obviously, that moisture will be there regardless of what I talked about with regard to that tropical wave out in the Atlantic. So with a front over our area, if some of that moisture from the tropical wave over the Atlantic approaches, basically what that would do is maybe just throw some more moisture into that frontal system and further increase our rain chances. So anyway, we'll see how that all plays out. But nevertheless, even the tropical system I referenced here in the middle of the Atlantic, take that out of the picture, it's still looking like a potentially wet weekend, unfortunately. And I really dislike being the deliverer of bad news, especially on a holiday weekend. I always hope that I could bring you a good forecast anytime, quite frankly, but particularly holiday weekends. But unfortunately, it's possible we could see up to an inch of rain for most places, Friday through the weekend. So we'll see how that all plays out. But anyway, will it be a washout this weekend? Probably not, but it's probably going to be occasional rain from time to time. All right. So the excessive rainfall outlook is a product that basically highlights the risk for flash flood potential. And unfortunately, it only goes out the next 3 days, today, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and basically no flash flooding concerns the next 3 days. But I bet you if this product went out through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I bet you it would show us at least in a marginal over this weekend, if not a slight. So we'll keep our eyes on that. And the severe thunderstorm potential right now is pretty low. Although, we can't rule it out with the system later. It depends on how the frontal system sets up and the time of day, with regard to severe thunderstorm potential late in the week. But at least in the next 3 days, no real concerns. And look into the further, this is the week after, well, the next week, basically, 7 days from now and beyond out to 14 days. And it looks like, well, I'm not a huge fan of these long range predictions because, a lot of flip-flopping involved. And, unless there's a really strong weather pattern, generally we see a lot of changes. But for what it's worth, below normal temperatures and below normal precip favor. How about that? That would be kind of my favorite 8 to 14 day outlook. I like below normal temps and below normal rain in the summer. So anyway, all right. So that wraps up the details here. Tropical Depression 4, not a concern for us other than a few briefing passing rain showers near the South Carolina border. Mostly dry Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we're going to watch that frontal system approach for the late week, Friday through the weekend. Independence Day. Right now, I'm not going to call it a washout, but it could be wet at times. And then just know that some strong thunderstorms could occur with locally heavy rain Friday into Saturday night. So that could set us up for a flash flood concern. So we'll see how that all plays out. Please do know that we'll be doing this briefing again Thursday morning, 11:30, same time, same place, same link, and we'll get you updated on Independence Day weekend weather. We'll get you updated on how much and how wet things may be. All right, so watch out for those temps in the low 90s with all the humidity in the air. So that could send heat indices, into the upper 90s to around 100. So I'd be remiss if I left that concern out too. I should have put a bullet in there, but just be careful if you're outside, particularly during the heat of the afternoon. Take frequent breaks, drink lots of water. All right, so that is the weekly briefing for Central North Carolina here on this 28th of June on Monday. And again, be sure to join us on Thursday again for an update about the weekend's weather. All right, so that wraps up today's weekly briefing.